Good morning students, myself Dr. Ishu Jain from PG Department of Chemistry, Gujranwala Guru Nanak Khalsa College. In the previous lectures of MSc 2, that is heterocyclic chemistry, we have discussed about the synthesis and reactions of aziridine, that is the three-membered heterocyclic compound with nitrogen as the heteroatom. And today in our third lecture, we will discuss about the synthesis and reactions of oxirane, that is a three-membered heterocyclic compound with oxygen as the heteroatom. And similarly, as was the case of aziridine, it was termed as ethylene imine. This compound oxirane is termed as ethylene oxide or simply epoxide, that is a cyclic ether. Clear? So it is a derivative of ether. We will discuss its physical properties first. In physical properties, because it is a derivative of ether and you know ethers are having very low boiling point. So again this epoxide or ethylene oxide or oxirane is a low boiling substance. It's a low boiling substance. Its boiling point is 10.7 degrees centigrade and it exists as gas at room temperature. Is it clear? Then second point, this compound is, oxirane is soluble in common organic solvents. Then third point is the polarity. Polarity of oxirane. Oxirane is highly polar in nature. It is highly polar and is more polar than its open chain derivative, that is dimethyl ether. Open chain derivative dimethyl ether is less polar as compared to oxirane. The polarity of carbon oxygen bond in oxirane is more as compared to the carbon oxygen bond in dimethyl ether, that is open chain compound. Next is the carbon-carbon bond length. Again, as we have already discussed in aziridine, the cyclic compounds involve the delocalization of the electron pair and hence their carbon-carbon bond is having partial double bond character, or in other words partial double bond character means the carbon-carbon bond length is larger than carbon-carbon double bond length but smaller than carbon-carbon single bond length, or you can say it is having partial double bond character. Double bond character. So on similar basis you have to explain the physical properties of all the compounds, whether you are asked any of the heterocyclic compound. So on similar basis you have to give first the physical properties and then we will start with the methods of synthesis. And last fifth point is the strain energy. Now what is strain energy? Due to the presence of a three-membered cyclic compound, these molecules are having a lot of angle strain, or these are unstable and hence they undergo nucleophilic or electrophilic ring opening reactions, and the strain energy denotes higher is the strain energy, lesser is the stability. So this compound oxirane is having strain energy of 313 kilocalorie per mole, while aziridine, this molecule was having strain energy of 14 kilocalorie per mole. So higher is the strain energy, lesser is the stability. So aziridine was a little bit lesser stable than oxirane. So these are the physical properties of oxirane, and after that we will discuss the thyrane, and thyrane is having strain energy of 9 kilocalorie per mole, that is most stable among the three-membered heterocyclic compounds. Clear? So higher is the strain energy, lesser is the stability. So next we will discuss about the synthesis of oxirane. So we will apply disconnection approach first. In the case of aziridine, we applied disconnection approach, and first method was insertion of nitrogen to carbon-carbon double bond. Now in this case, suppose this is your oxirane and you apply disconnection approach, so it will be insertion of or addition of oxygen to carbon-carbon double bond. So first method is addition of oxygen to carbon carbon double bond. Clear? Now in the simplest method for the synthesis of oxirane, you can take a gaseous oxygen in the presence of silver as catalyst, that is a simple oxidation reaction. So this is your alkene and you add oxygen in the presence of silver as catalyst and you will be getting oxirane as the product. But the yield of this reaction is only 10 to 20%. So if you are using a method where expensive metal is used, this silver metal is very expensive and you are getting a very lesser yield, that is 10 to 20%. So this method is not used. Why? Because it's a very expensive method and also you are not getting proper yield. So this method is not used. Instead, for the addition of oxygen to carbon carbon double bond, we use some oxygen donor, that is a peracid. Peracid, RCOOH. This is your carboxylic acid and insertion of one more oxygen, that is a peracid. So addition of peracids to carbon carbon double bond again results in the formation of oxirane. Here the peracids will be acting as a electrophile. So second method is peracids plus alkene giving you the oxirane. Here peracids will be acting as the electrophile. So see the reaction, suppose this is a general reaction, you can take any of the alkene substituted or not. Suppose we take hydrogens over here and you add peracid. Suppose this is in general a peracid, you can in place of R you can take alkyl or phenyl group. So this reaction, in this reaction I already said peracid act as electrophile, so attack of carbon will occur over here. So this reaction starts from here and this reaction occurs in a concerted reaction. This reaction is a concerted reaction. Concerted means all the bond formation and bond breakage takes place in a single concerted fashion. So this carbon carbon double bond attacks over here. So this bond will be moved over here for the formation of a double bond. This double bond will be converted into single bond. This oxygen now is negatively charged, it will capture proton and this bond will move over this oxygen and it will attack over here. So in concerted fashion what happens, this carbon, now this double bond was broken and this is a single bond. This carbon is making bond with this oxygen and this carbon is making bond with again the same oxygen. Now this is your oxirane plus this R is as such single bond C, single bond OH, double bond O. This bond is double now and this oxygen is making single bond with hydrogen and there is no bond between hydrogen and oxygen. So this is a part of oxirane now and it will result in the formation of a carboxylic acid. Clear? So this method is very useful as the higher yield of the oxirane is obtained. And what is the proof that this reaction is occurring in this concerted fashion or the peracid is acting as an electrophile. So if peracid is acting as electrophile or attack from this carbon-carbon double bond initiates the reaction. So if we substitute this alkene with the alkyl group, which is a electron donating group. So if I insert methyl over here, so this methyl group is electron donating and it will increase the electron density over here and this reaction will become faster. So it has been found that, suppose this is your reactant and this is the rate of the reaction. Understand very clearly, in PU exams this question has been asked many times that the rate of this reaction alkene plus peracid increases several times if you take substituted alkene. So if no methyl group was substituted, So this simplest alkene was there. So if rate of this reaction is 1, so if you take one methyl group substituted alkene, the rate of this reaction becomes 60 times. If you take two methyl groups, the rate becomes 650 times. And it doesn't matter whether the two methyl groups are on the different carbon atoms or on the same carbon atoms. So if both the methyl groups are on the same carbon atom, then again the rate of the reaction is 650, and if there are 3 methyl groups, then rate of reaction is 6500, and last, if all the methyl groups are present, no hydrogen is there, then the rate of the reaction is infinity. Clear? So this data indicates that this reaction occur by this mechanism, that is a concerted reaction where this alkene act as nucleophile and peracid act as the electrophile. Clear? Now we will take another examples of this reaction. Suppose if you are given cyclohexene, so it reacts with peracid. So this is your peracid, in place of R you can take PH. So in exam this question is asked, write down the products of this reaction. Again, so what will be the products? So here this is your alkene, so oxidine formation will occur over here, and your this oxidine and PHCOOH will be the side product. Now in this reaction, so there are two alkenes. Suppose this is your A and this is your B. So where the reaction will take place? Now you have to predict the product, whether oxidine formation will take place over A bond, A double bond, or oxidine formation will take place on B double bond, or you can say it is as such and oxidine is over here, or you can say this double bond is as such and oxidine is formed over here. So this question has been asked many times. So what will be the product? Product A or B? The product will be A. Why? B will not be formed. Why? Because we have already discussed the rate of the reactions. The presence of methyl groups or presence of more alkyl groups on the double bond favors the reaction. So this double bond is having more two methyl groups over here. So this makes this the reaction at this B double bond faster, and oxidine will be formed over here, and this double bond is not having any substitution over here. So this reaction is slower and this reaction will not take place. Clear? Another variant of this reaction is you can have the different substituents, that is one electron donating group and another is the electron withdrawing group. So this is, these two are your alkenes. In one case it is substituted with OAC, that is a state, and in another case it is substituted with OH. So which reaction will be faster in the presence of peracid? Which reaction will be faster? Which product will be faster? Again, in both the cases it will be giving you oxidine derivative. So which reaction will be faster? Reaction A or B? So this B reaction will be faster. Why? Because OH is electron donating group. Electron donating group over the alkene part increases the rate of the reaction. So this reaction is faster and this reaction is slower. Clear? So this was the second method for the synthesis of oxirane. First was the synthesis of oxirane from simple gaseous oxygen in the presence of silver as catalyst, and second is the synthesis of oxirane by the reaction of alkene with peracid. Now we will discuss the third method and apply again disconnection approach. Third method of synthesis of oxirane. Suppose this is your oxirane. We have already discussed this disconnection approach, that is insertion of oxygen. Now both the carbon atoms are same. So we will insert carbon to the carbon oxygen bond. Carbon oxygen bond is a ketone. Unsaturated carbon oxygen bond is ketone. So you can take carbon, ketone or aldehyde. Clear? So first we will discuss the carbon double bond oxygen. You can take simple aldehyde and insertion of carbon to the aldehyde, carbon oxygen double bond. So carbon comes from carbene, as we have already discussed in case of aziridine. So carbene comes from this compound, we have already discussed. So this CH2 will attack over here. So this is the third method, insertion of carbene to aldehydes. Carbene plus aldehydes. So this carbene CH2 will attack over this carbon, this double bond will be moved over oxygen, and you will get O negative H CH2 and triple bond N. Clear? Now two reactions takes place over here. In first case 1,2H shift occurs, 1,3H shift, 1, 2, 3, 1,3H shift occurs where oxygen negative part of the negative charge moves over here to make a double bond, and this hydrogen shifts to this CH2 and nitrogen is removed, minus N2, and what will you get? R C double bond O CH3, and you will be getting higher ketone. So you started with aldehyde and you are getting ketone, and with the removal of nitrogen. And second, we started this reaction to prepare oxirane. So oxirane formation will take place. You can rearrange this compound. So you can rearrange this compound, or you can say simply it is similar to R C O negative. H I can write downward, and CH2 and triple bond N. So this oxygen will attack over here and nitrogen will be removed. So you will be getting your RCO CH2, and this is your oxirane. Clear? So what is the drawback of this reaction? When you add simply carbene to your aldehydes, you are getting a mixture of two products. What is the mixture? First is your oxirane and second is the higher ketone. So your yield is affected because the reaction takes place in two parts. So to avoid this the formation of ketone, we use another methylene giving compound, that is dimethyl sulfoxonium methylide and dimethyl sulfonium methylide. So fourth method is in addition of or formation of carbene from dimethyl. Fourth method is dimethyl sulfoxonium methylide. Dimethyl, as the name suggests, CH3 twice, sulfoxonium S double bond O positive, methylide CH2 negative, and another compound is dimethyl sulfonium methylide. So what is this? Dimethyl CH3 twice, sulfonium simply S positive, and methylide CH2 negative. So these two compounds are used in place of CH2 and triple bond N to give carbene. Clear? So these two compounds will give only the oxirane and no side products are formed. So this will be clear from taking a simplest example. So take your alkene. So this is the fourth method. We will be doing the reaction with the same alkene. So for example, this is your sulfonium dimethyl, sulfonium methylide. So it will attack over here, carbon oxygen. So this will be the addition of dimethyl sulfonium methylide to aldehyde, again same. So it will attack over carbon and double bond will be moved towards oxygen, and what will be formed? RCO negative CH2 S2 methyl groups, Me2. It is positively charged, and in second step it will attack over here and dimethyl sulfur will be removed, resulting in the formation of oxirane. Plus dimethyl sulfur. Now dimethyl sulfoxonium methylide. So if you take dimethyl sulfoxonium methylide, same reaction will be taking place. Again O negative. So RCO negative H CH2 SO Me twice, S is positively charged, negative charge will attack over CH2 and dimethyl sulfoxide will be removed. Dimethyl sulfoxide plus your oxirane. Now what is the benefit of this reaction? In this reaction the side products formed, that is dimethyl sulfur, which is a gas. This dimethyl sulfur is a gas and dimethyl sulfoxide is a liquid. So the byproducts are easy to remove. This gaseous product will be evaporated itself and the liquid can be separated from your oxirane by simple filtration. So this is the best method to be used in the preparation of oxirane. Now the third method, this fourth method, the dimethyl sulfoxonium methylide and dimethyl sulfonium methylide. So these attack of these two compounds can be differentiated with alpha beta chalcones, alpha beta unsaturated compounds, or you can say chalcones. This dimethyl sulfoxonium methylide is bulkier and this CH2 negative simple sulfonium dimethyl sulfonium methylide is light, or you can say it's not bulkier, lighter group. Clear? So their attack on aldehydes is differentiated in alpha beta unsaturated compounds, that is chalcones. In case of chalcones, this is your aldehyde, alpha beta unsaturated. So this is your alpha carbon, this is your beta carbon. So alpha beta unsaturated compounds. So this is your chalcone. So because this group is bulkier in nature, so this methylide, instead of attacking over carbonyl bond, it will attack over this carbon. Clear? So this bulkier group will attack over this carbon, this double bond will be moved over here and negative charge will be here. And in the second step, what will be the product? This negative charge will come back and it will result in the formation of a cyclopropyl ring over here. Clear? So this will be the product in case of dimethyl sulfoxonium methylide. No oxidane ring will be formed, but here this group is lighter, no bulkier group is there, so it will attack over here and your oxidane will be formed. Clear? And dimethyl sulfur will be removed. This bond will now be as such. Is it clear? So this is the product. So in case of your dimethyl sulfonium methylide, you get oxidane, while in case of dimethyl sulfoxonium methylide, the CH2 is added to the carbon-carbon double bond and no oxidane formation takes place. So this is the method to distinguish the attack of dimethyl sulfoxonium methylide and dimethyl sulfonium methylide. Another method to distinguish the attack of these two groups is in case of cyclic ketones. So you know the cyclic ketones, in the 6-membered ketone you are having axial and equatorial position. So if this is your ketone and it can be rewritten as like this. So axial sides are more populated. So in case of bulkier group, the bulkier methylide, that is dimethyl sulfoxonium methylide, it will attack from the equatorial position. So it will attack from the equatorial position, dimethyl sulfoxonium methylide. So if it is attacking from the equatorial position, CH2 is coming from the equatorial position, what will be the oxidane formed? So it will be moved towards the upper side and your oxygen will be on the axial side and equatorial side will be occupied by the methylide. This is coming from dimethyl sulfoxonium methylide and it is coming from the equatorial side. While in case of dimethyl sulfonium methylide, the methylide will be coming from the axial side. Axial side, so your this axial side from here and your oxygen will be moved towards opposite equatorial position. So here oxygen is equatorial, CH2 is axial in case of dimethyl sulfonium methylide, and here oxygen is axial and CH2 is coming from equatorial. So in the cyclic ketones, again the attack of these two compounds can be differentiated. And fifth last method for the today is again cyclization method. So this is your oxidane. If you break the bond from here, substitute with H and here substitute with any good leaving group X. So in case of aziridine it was beta haloamines and here is the trans halohydrines. So cyclization of trans halohydrines in the presence of base. So what will be the reactions? Suppose any halogen is here. So in the presence of base like OH negative, it will capture hydrogen, negative charge, and X will be the leaving group. So you will be getting your oxidane as the product. So this is the same method as I have already told you in the case of aziridine that whenever you synthesize any of the cyclic heterocyclic compound, so cyclization reaction will be there. Cyclization, and it is also known as the Gabriel synthesis. Clear? So in this case you are having trans halohydrines or beta halohydrines, and in the presence of base this reaction gives rise to oxidane as a product. In the next lecture we will discuss some more methods of synthesis of oxidanes and the chemical reactions of oxidane, that is nucleophilic, electrophilic and photochemical reactions. Thank you.